just finished up the meeting with the VA here at Mountain Homes. We requested to talk to the director, Dan Snyder, and of course he refused to see us. But we did get a meeting with Juan Jordan, who is the director of the Choice program and the IT. So we went over and talked with him. At that time, we conference called with the director of the Rural Health Services, Linda Buck. And during that conversation, we talked about a viable alternative to getting a doctor in Sneedville, which is setting up Rural Health Services as a Tri-West insurance choice provider. Under this system, they'll be able to offer the service to the veterans that normally they'd have to go to a VA doctor to do. So this will enable the veterans to immediately call Tri-West, which will then send the records over that day to Rural Health Services, and the next day they'll be able to go to Rural Health Services there in Sneedville for their primary doctor care. They'll also be able to do some specialized care and some follow-up visits under this Choice program at the Rural Health Services building. Once they get this established, the Choice program and the Tri-West provider established, then it should take less than 72 hours for them to implement the program, and then the benefits that will start immediately. They'll be able to then use the Rural Health Services for their primary care. Then at which point, after we got this discussion over with, we went back over to Dan Snyder, who refused to see me again. However, he sent a secretary out this time, and I told them of the concerns of the Rural Health Services, that Dan Snyder isn't returning emails, not responding to the questions that they had about putting an actual VA doctor in at the Rural Health Services building. It's not fair to Rural Health Services to have to establish this insurance connection through Tri-West to be compensated for their services and all this level of administration it's going to create, when all the VA has to do and Dan Snyder has to do is put a VA doctor in this facility that Linda Buck reassured again on the phone was free for them to use. The only thing they have to cover is the cost of the x-rays, lab work, the normal cost of business. So this is where we're at. We reiterated that concern to Dan Snyder. Whether or not he responds back to Linda Buck as we requested, or does anything at all with that end of the program, we don't know. But we're moving forward in getting the care there needed in Sneedville for the veterans before winter gets here. And I think we're on the right track now. We should know something within the next, I would say by the end of next week, we'll have a result one way or